Whose responsibility? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So outside of those circles, remember the circles? Outside of the circles, they can list anything that conflicts with these outside the circle. This can include things that cause annoyance, discomfort, or pain. So outside of the circle, right? So you got the two circles, the middle, you, them. Now, that's what's allowed in you, allowed in them, and allowed in y'all. But outside of the circle, you write the non-negotiables. It can't come in here. You cannot leave the top off the toothpaste. It blows me. It sets me off. That need to be written in there. You need to know something so small will tick you off that something could crawl in there. Or the air make the toothpaste hard when it come out. Ugh. He needs to know that that's going to set me off. You know? Right? If you've been violated, if you grab me this way, it takes me somewhere. Okay? Because the only way that relationship is going to work is for you to be completely open about your non-negotiables. If you raise your voice at me, this ain't happening. Right? If you hit me, you're going to die. Somebody got to die. If Jesus died for me, I ain't going to die for you. You understand me? Right? So that's your non-negotiables. And if things happen in that relationship that's outside of that circle, what do? You end the relationship. Don't leave, because you leave, you come back. You end the relationship. I left and went and cool off. No. He said he loved me. He brought me flowers the next day. Dumb. That is a chief repentance gift. Okay? If you're gonna keep going back, let him buy your car or something. You know? You hit me cost too much. You hit me cost too much for you to bring me some roses. I will beat you down with the roses and the thorns. Sometimes the kingdom got to take it by force. You understand? I'm kingdom. Just jokes, Jesus. Just jokes. Anything that creates guilt because it goes against a person's beliefs or values. If there's certain, even in a marriage bed, if there's certain things that, I know they said it's undefiled, but you can't do that, then he can't force you. Because it violates you. Okay? Anything that pushes a person to their limit. If you know a certain behavior going to tick you off, you need to have that outside there. You need to make that known. Don't let them stumble upon it. And now you done turned around like the exorcist. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Your voice done changed to Darth Vader. I am your father. Right? Y'all know I'm tired, man. Stop playing. Anything that makes the person feel vulnerable, you need to put outside of that circle, because you shouldn't be putting me in vulnerable situations. Okay? All right? Now, number 3 is set them early. Set what early? Boundaries. When people set boundaries with you, it's their attempt to continue the relationship with you. It's not an attempt to hurt you. Listen, the only way I can keep you in my life is for me to have boundaries. If I don't have any boundaries, this relationship is going to be very, very short. How you doing? My name is Matthew. Nice to meet you. Go, because you're going to do something quick that's going to make me look at you side-eye. Did he just get nasty with the waitress? Because the food running late. What he going to do at home when his dinner late? If he treat the waitress like that, how he gonna treat you? Ain't no taint around here, girl. I better know better. It is easier to set boundaries early in the relationship so people know each other's limits and expectations. When you set those boundaries before the feelings start, you don't start eliminating your boundaries because you fell in love. Correction. You don't start eliminating your boundaries because you fell in lust. Lust will erase some boundaries. I want me a man of God. Lust speaking. Well, I'm going to help him get to know who God is. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Well, maybe it's for me to lead him to the Lord. No, the Bible said the man is the head. The Bible said the man is to wash the woman with the word. When did you become a he, she? It is not the woman's job to lead the man to Christ. Let's get it right. Stop fooling yourself, church girls. Stop fooling yourself. If you are a real man of God, he has to be able to wash you with the word. How he gonna wash you with the word when he don't even know who the word is? And then you later on tell me, I just want him to pray with me. He don't even want to pray with me. He didn't know how to pray when you met him. But lust was speaking. Lust just erased that for a little while. Yeah. Lust at first sight, that's what it is. This also avoids frustration, confusion, and hurt along the way. You are less likely to hurt each other when you've already discussed boundaries. Because if you love each other and you have set and discussed boundaries, you both will do everything in your power not to hurt the other. But you can't get mad at them when they hurt you and you didn't express that was a boundary. It hurt me when you got home 2 o'clock this morning. Okay, did y'all discuss boundaries? Did you discuss expectations? I'm a grown man. I come when I want to. Okay. Now she accepts it, but then she got that resentment in her, don't she? So she changes a little bit. What you don't realize, she accepted, she stayed there, but something changed about the what she do for him. Where she used to wash 5 loads of laundry, she only washing 3. Something's changing. Then years down the road, he's like, you used to wash my clothes. Well, put them in there. I turn it on. Because of all the resentment that didn't get handled. But if you want her to keep washing your clothes, you come home a reasonable hour. Number 4, you have to express your boundaries. Set them and express them. Boundaries. If someone throws a fit because you set boundaries, it's just more evidence the boundary is needed. Come on, parents. When you set boundaries with your kids and they puff up, that shows you, I should have been did this. You can go and repent to the baby. I'm sorry. Because I should have set this boundary 3 years ago. But you know what? I'm going to make up for it now. It's set. Break it, you want to. Break it, you want to. Eli said he ain't did nothing. He over there talking about break it, you want to. Boy, I ain't doing nothing but reading the Bible. It is crucial to communicate one's boundaries and share them with the people one has relationships with. Being assertive yet respectful when stating and implementing these is also essential. You cannot state your boundaries with an attitude, well, I got my boundaries, and if you want to be with me, then you're going to have to understand my boundaries. And no, go somewhere. I don't even want to be around you nasty self. You ain't got to worry about no relationship. You nasty. If I ain't even done nothing yet, and that's how you discussing it with me, what's going to happen when I do something? All 4 seasons. All 4 seasons. If you get mad while expressing what makes you mad, we got a problem. Okay? Using I statements can help people communicate their feelings and opinions, what they find uncomfortable, and what they need to feel safe and secure. Listen, when we're talking about boundaries, we're not talking about petty stuff. We're talking about what you need to feel safe and secure. You understand me? Safe and secure. So this even the analogy that I keep using about the toothpaste, which irks me. I'm joking about that thing. That ain't gonna cause me no divorce. Because boundaries are about what makes you feel safe and secure. He gonna work my nerves, but then I'm gonna just work around it. And I'm gonna go buy the toothpaste with the flip top. So then he ain't got to find the top to put it back up there. All you gotta do is flip it. So you compromise, right? I can't take the top off. You can't ever find the top. I'm gonna buy a flip, right? Or I'm gonna buy one of the things to go on the mirror. See, that's what I'm saying. Boundaries ain't about little petty stuff that can be taken care of. Okay? I be joking about the toothpaste. Listen, God said, my man of God, he can leave the top off. I would buy one and then go on the mirror and you squeeze the dispenser and it shuts itself back off. Thank you, baby. And fill it up when it gets empty. I sure will. Send them, God. I'll do it. Right? Send them, God. I'll do it. I will shut that toothpaste myself. Never feel guilty for setting boundaries to protect your peace. Number 5 is be comfortable saying no. And how many people in here still struggle with saying no? It should have been more hands than that, whatever. Y'all ain't telling the truth. Anyway, setting boundaries involve learning to say no and being comfortable not explaining one's decision. I can say no and I don't have to tell you why. My answer is no. Can you do it? Why? Why? I gave you the answer. Why? Because You don't have to explain yourself to people. Understand. When you begin to explain yourself to people, you make them seem as if they have power over you. Now, when you call and say, I ain't coming to work today. Why? I don't feel good. Why? Because that boss got authority. Right? That boss can fire you. You need to tell them why you ain't coming. You ain't gonna call no job. I know nobody's just say, I ain't coming in today. You better come up with I fell off the bed. Something. One time, I was working at Kmart and I called in. I said, my mama fell down the steps. And the next day, my mama fell down the steps. I said, I ain't lied on my mama never ever again. I get got, the Lord can get me right away. Mama fell down the steps. I just fell on my knees. Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus. I was like, I could have came up with anything else. Why did I say that? I don't know. Lying is lying. But sometimes you prophesy. All right? Number 6, be consistent in upholding your boundaries. You got to be consistent. Yeah. When someone oversteps your boundaries, they are letting you know that what you want doesn't matter. I need you to realize how serious that is. When you have set your boundaries and they overstep anyway, what they're saying is, I don't care what you want. I don't care. It ain't no, well, I'm sorry, I slipped. No, it's I don't care. I don't care enough to learn what you need to feel safe, to make what you need to feel secure. I don't care. I don't care that what I just did make you scary. I don't care that it hurts your feelings. I don't care. When people choose to overstep your boundaries, what you feel does not matter. Whoever that is says what you feel doesn't matter. Okay? Setting boundaries take time and repetition. Time and repetition. Other people may not always know or understand what another person needs, obviously. Communicating boundaries and reminding other people about these decisions can help reinforce them and develop respect and trust within one's relationship. Now, I mentioned jokingly earlier that he came in the house at 2 o'clock. And what? You stay out at 2 o'clock in the morning? I'm home. No. A boundary could be, when you stay out really late, it makes me worry. Can you just send me a text to let me know you're okay? Huh? Oh, well, they not going to be my man then. She say they not going to do that. Well, then they not going to be my man. Your nephew. Oh, yeah. Well, see, that's your nephew. He ain't got to worry about you. You ain't going to enforce nothing. You're not going to enforce nothing. You see, if you tell him, if you're going to live in this house, when you're not coming home, I need to have a text by midnight to say you're gone for the evening. If you can't give me the common courtesy to say I'm out for the night so I can turn off my porch light and lock up my house, then you don't ever need to come back. You are a woman at home, alone. If he ain't coming, you need to know you're alone. Shoot, I come over there. Shoot, make sure he understands some boundaries. But you have to enforce them. Okay? Now, men, if your wife was to tell you, when you stay out after 2, it makes me kind of worry. Can you just shoot me a text at 2 to let me know you're okay and what time you think you'll be home? What we got, man? How you take that? That's cool? That's simple? I got you, babe? Huh? That's what he answered like that because he's sitting next to his wife. You right. You right. That's your brownie points. You got it. He said, why am I even outside? I got my wife and child at the house. Why would I be outside at 2 a.m.? That was a good answer with your wife beside you. You right. You right. You got that. You got that. Talk to me 10 years from now. Number 7, start small. Don't start off all big. Start small. My boundaries may be different than yours. You may not understand them. It doesn't mean I am wrong, invalid, or inappropriate. Don't judge or belittle when I set different limits than you do. However, you got to read that the other way. Baby, your boundaries are very different from mine, and I don't understand them. But it doesn't mean that you're wrong or inappropriate. They're not invalid. I'm not going to judge or belittle you because mine is different from yours. See, when you say it that way, it's you accepting accountability. Ain't nobody saying, oh, yeah. But when it's about the other person accepting accountability for yours, oh, yeah, that's good. That's good enough for you to eat, too. I just want y'all to see how quick we are to accept things that are supposed to be projected on others. But that same thing is supposed to be on you. Okay? A person who finds it difficult to set boundaries can build them up slowly. Okay? You ain't got to go and write your whole 2 pages of boundaries. Start slowly. One can also offer alternatives that are comfortable, that they are comfortable with, instead of outrightly saying no. Okay? Same situation. My boundaries is my man can't be coming in the house after 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Don't just say no. Offer alternatives. Is it possible that you text me when you're going to be later than 2, just so I know everything's okay? Not just, you ain't going to be. You ain't nobody's boss. You ain't nobody's God. Right? People have their own choices. You can express how you feel. And it's up to them to love you enough to alter according to how you feel. But you can't demand anything from anyone, especially if you did not set the boundaries ahead of time. Don't change up after you done caught the fish and say, no, I want you to be a spot and it's a croaker. No, you done already caught the spot. That's what it is, a spot. You can't change it into a croaker. Right? Number 8, get support. I am setting boundaries today. I have given myself limits of how long I will allow people to hurt me and how long I will stick around them. Today, I stick around less and less. The more and more people violate my boundaries, the less and less they will be in my presence. Why are you still hanging around folks that violate your boundaries? Why do you have boundaries if you're not going to enforce them? It's like having a gun that says, stop, don't come any closer. And the robber say, and take your gun from you and now shoot you. But that's what people do in their relationships when you don't set boundaries that you can enforce. They walk up on your boundaries, snatch it, do what you told them not to do. And now you so sensitive, beat you over the head with it. You're so sensitive. I was just joking. No. You don't joke with my boundaries. If a person finds it difficult to set and implement boundaries, they can reach out to someone they trust or a mental health professional to help them create and establish their boundaries. Because you don't want to be the crazy cat lady coming up with all kinds of stupid boundaries. Won't nobody be around you. Well, my boundaries are, and you take out a notebook. Oh, shoot. I can't remember all that. I don't like school. Yeah, I got to take a class to know your boundaries. Right? You can't make it so difficult. But if you don't know how to make them, get with a health professional or somebody that you trust, that you see that they know how to set and implement boundaries, and come up with a list. Maybe run a list by your friend. Okay, these are my boundaries. What do you think? Is it too much? Talk to somebody else. Okay? Because the Bible says a fool is wise in their own eyes. Always seek wise counsel. Okay? In summary, just as we expect others to value our boundaries, it's equally important for us to respect boundaries of others. I say again, just as we expect others to value our boundaries, it's equally important for us to respect the boundaries of others. So, setting boundaries in relationships can help a person feel more in control, respected, and secure. It can also prevent unhealthy and toxic relationships as well as abuse. Amen? It is so. It is also essential to be respectful of other people's boundaries. People who want to set boundaries but aren't sure how to. Okay, I should have put a comma there, sorry. People who set boundaries but aren't sure how to may benefit from professional support. Coaches and therapists can provide tools and techniques to help a person establish and maintain healthier relationships. If you don't know, ask somebody. Oops, that was supposed to be there. There you go. All right? Any questions concerning tonight's lesson? I'd bring it to you. I know your need. Anyone else have a question? Go ahead up to the mic.
My question, you talked about the circle,
Mm-hmm.
and then you said you have the in between the circle. So the other words that you was using for the outside of the circle, like hurt or
Non-negotiables.
right. But inside the circle, basically you're saying that's when you set your boundaries for that person or the next person, and in between the trust, the communication, that sort of thing.
Where they loop.
Yes, where the level, where the loops.
Mm-hmm.
So within the loop, that person would already know how you feel about, I mean, in terms of boundaries. That person would know how you feel about something.
Yes, they should.
They should know. Okay.
Yeah, they should know, because if love isn't about, if love is in the loop, then you don't just look at the fact that love is in the loop. That's when you go a step further to say, what does love mean to you? When you say you need love, what does it mean? What does love look like to you? You can't just tell them this, my boundaries. You have to give them examples to go by, because love to me and love to you could be two totally different things. You know, well, I told you I needed love. Okay, but there's different ways to love. So I can't just say I need love. I need to tell you how I need love. Okay? Anyone else?
I have two questions. My first question, in the diagram, it was like anything on the outside, basically like anything that makes you feel vulnerable. I guess I don't know the definition of vulnerable, because I thought that being vulnerable was like being open about your feelings. So I don't know what that means.
There's more to being vulnerable than just being open about your feelings. Vulnerable puts you in a place to be hurt. Not just telling you what hurts me. But I can be vulnerable and you never know it. You understand? Vulnerability is what you feel, what you, like, if somebody off the street come and cuss me out, I'm gonna look at them and be like, well, dang, you big mad. You all right? You wanna pray? It's not gonna bother me, because I'm not vulnerable to that person. But if one of my children come up here right now and cuss me out, it'd be like, whoa, where did that come from? And it's gonna hurt. It's going to make me be in a vulnerable state. I'm in a place to be hurt. See, a lot of relationships never work because you never put yourself in a place to be hurt. But the only way for a relationship to thrive is for both to love each other enough to put yourself in position to be hurt.
So when people say to me, like, you need to be more vulnerable, they're saying put myself in a position to be hurt.
I don't know what they said to you, because who's telling you you need to be more vulnerable?
People.
And vulnerable to what? Vulnerable is an open state. What do I need to open myself up to? Be vulnerable to God? Oh, yes, sir. But what these people want you to be to them? No. Yeah, they might be using the wrong word.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I hope they're using the wrong word.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be walk around here being vulnerable to people. That's crazy.
Okay. Thank you for that. Another question. I don't know. Well, I guess it's a question. Last week you had said, like, say, basically, don't quote me, but in the lines of like, say what you need to say. Like, if it needs to come out, it needs to come out. Um, yeah, I don't think that worked for me.
Yeah.
No, like, because, okay, I don't think that works for me. So I've found myself, like, when I do speak how I feel, I find myself, like, over explaining why I said what I said, because I'm used to, like, because I can be very blunt, like, I say it how I feel it in a moment. So, and people at times can take that the wrong way. So I found myself, like, when I do say something, like, overly explaining it. So, like, basically,
Well,
yeah.
okay, so let's be real. You do talk too bluntly, okay? So, being that you know that that's the issue, that's something you should change. And so, whereas a person maybe have said you need to be more vulnerable, I guess they would be saying you need to put yourself in other people's shoes more. You know what I'm saying? Because how would you feel if somebody said that to you? Yes, it's correction, but how did you say it? You understand? That's why the Bible tells us to correct, but to make sure we correct in love. So if you're always being told that you're too blunt, then you need to go to God and ask him to give you more grace. You know what I'm saying? That's not their problem, that they can't take your bluntness. You need to get more grace, because you're not going to win people over to Christ without grace. You know?
I'm done after this. You're right. I've acknowledged that part of it, but now it's like I like always like I don't want you to take it this way, or I'm sorry. Or
No,
this is why.
that's too much.
People are telling me that like you don't have to do that. But
Yes.
It's like I'm not understanding.
You're doubting yourself now. When you say stuff now, after you say it, you're analyzing, did I say it right? You understand? But if you pray and ask God for more grace, you won't have to keep doing that. So it's just about opening yourself up to God, allow God to give you grace. I promise you, whatever we ask him for, he said, I'll give you your heart's desire, especially when you're asking for things that make you a better ambassador. And to say, God, I want more grace with my words. I want to be able to talk to people and not offend people. You know what I'm saying? And some people you talk to, you're going to offend no matter what you do. Yeah, we're not talking about them, you know. But just overall grace. Because what you want to do is you want to deal with people the way God deals with you. You understand? Because I'm showing God how I want to be loved by the way I'm loving his people. Mm-hmm. And now when you start over-explaining, it could be guilt. Because you know you said it smart. It just came out before you thought about it. And it came out wrong. And you have to be able to say, that came out before I thought about it. That was so wrong. You know. You just repent. You said what you said, but did you say it with grace? I'm talking about these times. Ain't no I feel like I've been doing better. I'm talking about these times. Did you say it with grace? Well, you keep on apologizing. So why are you apologizing? But if you ain't do it this time, why you got to apologize for how you were before? You only need to apologize if you felt you was tight. Now. I ain't going to apologize to you for the way I used to talk to people. I need to go back and apologize to them. Okay? You're welcome. Any other questions? Announcements.
Okay. AFC announcements. All right. Intercessory Ministry, first Friday of the month, this Friday, May 2nd, from 5:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. See Sister Amani for details. Men's Ministry will be having a paintball outing on May 3rd. The cost is $30. New members will be having a class on May 7th at 7 p.m. See Sister Tay for details. Fish fry is this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This Sunday, May 4th, AFC. You got something to say? Oh, okay. I didn't hear you. I thought I missed something. Like, wait, what? This Sunday, May 4th, AFC will be having an ordination. Keep the ordainees Deacon-elect Michael, Minister-elect Deneen, and Minister-elect Gabrielle in prayer. Intercessory meeting will also be holding a morning prayer meeting Sunday, May 4th at 10 a.m. AFC will be having a baptism on Sunday, May 18th. If you would like to be baptized or have a christening, please see myself or Deaconess Tiffany for sign up. Yeah, that's it for announcements.
All right. All right, so we are going to dismiss, but immediately after we dismiss, we are going to go into our AAR for the fish fry. People say, what's the AAR? It's After Actions Review. So it's where we talk